Steve Wheeler, and welcome to our webcast. Got some really exciting things to share with you this afternoon. And let's kind of get into the agenda very quickly. We're going to talk about 3 things to really automate the trading process. One of the things that we all face as traders is we have our own human emotions. And the more that we can remove that from the trading arena, the better. All right, so we want to remove emotions, and I've got some really exciting things to share with you this afternoon that we've now incorporated into what we're doing here at NaviTrader. So we're going to talk about some automated trading processes. One of them would be automated trailing stops, automatic exits, and so we'll talk about the 3 areas where you can automate things in your trading. You want to remove emotion in the trades and start winning. All right, so as a trader, there are really 3 steps to becoming successful. First of all, become a system trader. Number 2, stick with the discipline of the system. And number 3, return to step 1. All right, so if you do that, you have a very high probability of success. And if you, for those people that know me, you know I'm very passionate about trading, but also adamant about trading profitably. Trading is like it really is a business. I've been in business for myself for many years, over 30 years, practically my whole life. And trading is really just another business. Okay, so with trading, you've got a choice to make. You can either trade profitably or you can not trade profitably. So I'm assuming most people want to trade profitably. Okay, so if you've tried trading, you know that it does have its challenges, but main thing is really have a system, stick with the discipline of the system, and then return to step 1. All right, so here at NaviTrader, we built the system into the chart, and today I'm going to share with you some new things that we've now incorporated into what we're doing here at NaviTrader. We actually have automated trading systems that we've developed here at NaviTrader, and we call it the Trade Brain. And we actually have incorporated that into our trading room now, where we actually get automated setups in the room and automated trade management and automated exits right on our trades in the room now. So I run a real-time trading room. It's open every day from 9 to 11 Eastern. And the room is very automated. So we take signals just like you see right here. Buy signal on the green arrows and sell signals on the magenta arrows. All right, so everything that we do here at NaviTrader really focuses a lot on the futures markets, although everything we teach can be applied to other markets as well. So if you trade Forex spot market, some people trade stocks, some people trade options. We focus a lot on futures trading here at NaviTrader, but you can apply all these same principles to other markets as well. All right, so one of the great things about the futures markets is we have the ability to make money in both directions. And really, the markets really almost every day are going to be moving up and down. So you're going to have good trades on both sides of the market every day. All right, so some benefits of trading. For one, live the life you want. Trade from your home, your office, kind of get away from the actual grind of the daily commute that a lot of people face. Also, you have the ability to be productive your entire life. You don't have to worry about at retirement getting the gold watch and not being able to be productive. So trading, you can continue to do that really pretty much throughout your whole life and trade from any location, like I say. All right, so let's kind of get right into the essence of what we have here at NaviTrader. This is the actual charts, and I'm going to show you just an example of a trade. You can see this red signal line is indicating the market's moving lower on the chart. And we have actually the automated trailing stops built into our charts. So you can see the red line on the short position is your trailing stop. The brown line is where we entered this particular trade. And you can see as the market moves down, the actual stop is adjusted automatically. So what we're doing here is automating the trade signal to get in and automating the actual trade management. Down here on the bottom of the screen, in this particular example, we've got a green line, which is your profit target. So profit target. So we're automating the signal, which the red signal is telling you the market's moving down. The red line is you're moving in the trade, is your trade management line. The green line is an automated target, because before we ever got into this trade, we established where we wanted to get out. So we get into the trade, we actually have the profit target in the trade already. All right, so our charts, you can see, are very visual. When the signal line is red, the market's moving lower. If the signal line is green, the market's moving up. All right, so with our trend indicator charts, you can see they are unique. In a trend, we get these red power bars on a move down. We also get what we call consolidation bars on our charts. You can see the consolidation bars are the bars with the gold frame. And that's what's forming on the chart right now, the consolidation bars. Now, whenever we get consolidation, markets either move above or below that consolidation. So in this particular case, you can see we formed two consolidation bars, and we've got a target down here at 25.70.50. And this is on the E-mini. Okay, so now you can see we broke below that consolidation bar. Our automated trailing stop moved down. And in this example, we had the profit target sitting there, which we did come down and hit. So that's how our charts work. As I said before, when the signal line is green, that's telling you the probability is to move up. Signal line is red, the probability is to move down. All right, so here's an example of a chart on the 6E. 6E is the Euro futures, if you're not familiar with it. And you can also use these charts, of course, on any market that you have data for. All right, so this particular example, we've got the 6E, which is the Euro futures. So here we had a buy signal. That's the green arrow pointing up. You can see we do have the green signal line on the screen. So the stop is sitting right on that signal line right now. And right now we're getting a consolidation bar on the 6E. So the market's either going to break above or below that consolidation bar. And in this particular example, you can see it's moving up slightly at this point, forming another consolidation bar. Now on this chart, you can see where my pointer is at is the recent 60-minute highs. So in just a minute here, we're going to move that stop down near those recent 60-minute highs. Now here you can see this, the automated trailing stop moved up. All right, so one of the benefits of these tools, for one thing, they tell you the likely direction of the market, which is really one of the keys to trading. The other thing they do is they give you a systematic way of managing your trade. So here we've moved that target down, and the green line is your trailing stop. So green line is the profit target. We put that target up here near these recent highs. All right, so we came up and hit that target. So that's that gives you an example of our charts. All right, so I run a real-time training room, and we actually use these tools in the room naturally. And one of the things we've done in our trading room recently is incorporated what we call a trade brain signal. So we've got the automated trading systems where we can actually invoke the automated trading system on any market. Now this is using the NASDAQ chart on the NASDAQ. It happens to be on a Renko chart. And here you can see, this is actually a trade from this morning. We had a long trade where we signaled a long entry, and this particular trade moved up after we went into this trade long. So these are the trade brain signals. These are really great signals. We've incorporated them into our trading room. And in the room, we're following a number of different markets. So it's nice that we can put, we can set up these automated systems on a number of different markets, and then we can see which markets we're getting entries on based on the automated trading signals. Okay, so those are the trade brain signals. Now here's another thing that we talked about, a number of ways to automate your trading, and here's a way to automate your targets. This is actually using the the ATM strategies, where you can put in your targets in setting up an ATM strategy. And once you establish that, you're really creating a template so that when you get into that trade, when you enter a trade, it's going to enter it with these parameters. These are just examples I'm showing right here: stop loss and profit target and ticks. All right, so one more way to automate your trades. So if you want to get out on targets, this is what you want to do. All right, so these are the autonomous signals on our charts. Okay, so the autonomous signals. As I said before, we've incorporated the trade brain signals into our room, so we can set up these automated strategies in the room so that when the actual signals trigger, we will get into trades both long and short. All right, so here's some trades for today. Here's a couple of signals that we had this morning. This was a sell signal at 25.7150. There's a couple signals from this morning in the room. So the E-mini moved down from 25.7150. You can see it moved down to about 25.66. Then we had another buy signal here at 25.69. We moved up to about 25.78. That's the E-mini today. These are some of the trade brain signals that we had from this morning. Okay, so that's on the E-mini. Sell signal at 25.7150, buy signal at 25.69. All right, so one of the great things about trading futures is you can compound your capital, and we're going to talk a lot about that here today. So we'll talk about compounding your capital. With your trading of the futures markets, I really recommend everyone have a plan, not only for your trading plan, but for your position sizing. One of the crucial areas of whether you're trading stocks or options or futures is sizing your positions correctly. All right, so I'm going to show you an example here. If we're trading the E-mini, I'm going to assume here that we start out with a $5,000 trading account. One of the great things about futures trading is you don't have to have a lot of capital, but you do have to have the right tools, and you have to have the right training. All right, so we're going to assume you start out with a $5,000 account, and on this screen we're going to talk about position sizing. I'm going to show you how you can compound your capital. Okay, so start out trading one contract, and I'm going to assume here that you make approximately slightly over 4 points per day on the E-mini, which is a very realistic goal if you have the right tools. So slightly over 4 points per day would be a little bit over $200 per day. You got to figure you can have some commissions, but the commissions are usually about roughly about $5 per round turn on trading the E-mini. All right, so if you made slightly over 4 points per day, you'd be making approximately $1,000 per week per contract. So if you start out with $5,000, and in 5 weeks you'd be up to $10,000. So what we're assuming here is you're trading one contract for each $5,000 in capital. So here, once you get to $10,000, you're trading two contracts. So you'd be trading two contracts. So instead of making approximately $200 per day, now you're making $400 per day. Do that till you get to 20,000. At 20,000, start trading 4 contracts. So essentially on this screen, what I'm trying to show you is position sizing for the E-mini based on your trading account size. Now, just these examples here, I would say are a good guideline to follow. You may want to use slightly more or less margin than this, but that's a good guideline to follow. All right, so on this screen, we'll show you a little more graphically. On the first month, you're starting out with $5,000 in capital. So making those $1,000 a week, you'd be making approximately $5,000. So during the second month, you're trading more contracts. Third month, more contracts. Fifth month, sixth month. Now these arrows are pointing to how much money you're making each month if you are trading the increased number of contracts. So you can see here, at a certain point, you're trading 32 contracts. So 32 contracts. So wealth is really created through compounding. If you think about any business, whether it's Amazon or Apple or any business or a trading business, is really builds through the idea of compounding your capital. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the tools we've developed here at NaviTrader. Now, this is a standard candlestick chart. A lot of you have started trading with something like this. Candlestick chart. I just want to compare this chart to our trend indicator chart. Okay, now this is the Euro futures chart, but using our trend indicator charts. All right, so this is a pretty good example of what a market will typically do. It will move down, get a little bit of an upside retracement, move down some more, a little bit of an upside retracement, down more, upside retracement, and down some more. So fairly typical market movement here on the 6E. Now you can see I've got 3 arrows on the screen here. These are magenta arrows. So these are sell signals. Now, as I said before too, we've incorporated a new thing into our trading room. We're calling it the Trade Brain, and we can set up the automated strategies on these charts, and it will actually show us where we get into those automated signals, and we'll manage the trade based on, in the case of a short position, it'll move the stop down based on that line, that red line on the screen. All right, so again, here's the trade automator signals. Here's a magenta arrow. This happens to be on the E-mini. And you can see the market's moving lower. You can see on this chart, I've got a little bit different background, the white background on this chart. Red line is your trailing stop. And let me just mention that all these price bars are our own proprietary price bars. We call them Navi bars. And the indicator line on the screen is called our Navi PM indicator. So the Navi PM indicator is really the indicator that's used for the trailing stops. So here we came down, got out on a discretionary exit on this particular trade. All right, so this is an example of the trend indicator charts. Move down here, 2581.50 sell signal. Now, let me tell you something that's another very exciting point, and that is we've got these turning points in the market here. This is the E-mini on a move down and the E-mini on a move back up. Now, you can see it within these trends, too. We get these consolidation bars. Those bars are unique to our trend indicator charts. So you can see here we moved down, we consolidated, we ultimately broke below that consolidation. Here we moved down some more, consolidated, moved down below that consolidation. Here we came down, consolidated, and went lower. Here we consolidated and went higher. Here we moved up, consolidated, went higher. Here we went up, consolidated, and moved higher. All right, so a lot of traders, when we get these consolidations, would exit their trades and take profits. In fact, that's really one thing that causes consolidation in the market, is some profit taking. All right, so but you can see the great thing about these charts is they give you the ability to let your winners run. Now, one of the big problems a lot of traders have is that they will let losses go too large and take profits too quickly. How many people have ever done that? Okay, so how many people have done that where you have a tiny profit on a trade, so you think, I got to take that profit, but yet when the trade's going against you, you'll let it go too far. Now, when you do that, it really spells the likelihood of a negative profitability rate, really. So you can see if you get tiny profits and large losses, it doesn't make for the likelihood of making money. So that's why it's important to let your winners run, cut any losses very short. All right, so you can see on this chart too, and we moved down and we came back up and crossed over this red line. you don't want to be short anymore. So you can see we move down. Trailing stop would automatically be moved down to where my pointer is, and then you can see we move back up. All right, so that's an E-mini chart. All right, so great opportunities every day in these markets. You just have to have the right tools to tell you which way the market's moving. And as I said, in the room, we use these exact same signals in the room. All right, so here's a chart. This is on the E-mini, 10-point move down. So anyone that's not familiar with the E-mini, that's 10 points times $50 would be $500 move, less any commissions, which would be about $5. Here you've got to move up 9 points, $450 less any commissions. Okay, so here's the NASDAQ futures. Here's a sell signal, sell signal. Here's a sell signal. You can see this one really didn't go anywhere. So if you got out with a small loss on that trade, that's certainly a possibility. But here you can see we move back up significantly. All right, so trading, trading is all about letting your winners run, cutting any losses short. So if you went short here, you'd be back out of this trade where my pointer's at. Now, these charts, one thing I love about our charts, they're very visual. And I can look at the chart, I can see how many signals I'm going to get, I can see where the signals came in, and I can really just visually look at the chart and see that I would have a positive expectancy on these trades. Now, if you want to take a series of trades, I'd recommend taking 20 to 30 trades. Now, the other thing I recommend to everyone is when you're looking at these charts, look at these active sessions. In the overnight sessions, you're going to get usually some consolidation. But when you're looking at the trade signals, take a look at the signals when you'd actually be using the actual system. All right, so look at it during active market sessions. Okay, so that's the NASDAQ, sell signal, sell signal, sell signal. And then here's a buy signal. Okay, so the red circle is around all the signals. The red bars are they're all our Navi bars, and the squiggly indicator on the screen is the Navi PM indicator. All right, so when we get the automated signals, you can see to take a short position. If you want a little stronger probability trade, just wait for the market to confirm that it's actually gone below the price bar on a sell signal or above the price bar on a buy signal. So here you can see on this sell signal here, we never really went below that bar. Here we went above this bar and moved up. All right, so the entries, you can just go short below the actual signal bar. Use the trailing stop on the red line for a short position. And you can see managing the trade. As I said before too, the system will actually move the stops for you. Now the great thing about these trades too, or the automated stops, is there's some trades that will take a while. You might be in a trade. In fact, I had a trade the other day where I used the automated trailing stops, and the trade actually went for about 3 hours. So it went about 3 hours. So a lot of traders are not patient enough, so maybe they probably wouldn't have stuck with that trade for the 3 hours necessary. The other thing too is there are certain markets that are very trendy. Typically early in the morning, the Forex markets are very trendy, so you'll find that you can get into the trades and then establish, just set up the automated trailing stop and then just let the trade go. All right, so again, here's a chart on the 6S. Here's a chart where we had a buy signal. You can see we went above that green bar, so we're long here. All right, so the red line in a short position is your initial stop and your trailing stop. See, we automate the signals on the chart. And again, here's the E-mini with a, just show you how the automated trailing stop works. It's the red line. And we can attach the, as I said, we can attach the stop to the indicator line. So just let the system actually manage the trade for you. And of course, if you're in a trade, and let's say you've got a nice profit and you want to take your profits, you can always exit if you want to prior to hitting any targets or whatever. And again, this is the autonomous signal from this morning. This is actually on the NASDAQ where we started to move up. And this is using the trade brain, which we use in our ultimate trader room. And that way we can apply these, we can apply the automated system to a number of different charts. And then whenever we get a signal, we can take the same trades in the room. Okay, here's the E-mini where we had a buy signal, $350 move. Again, this is the 6E. Here's where we had a buy signal on the 6E. And you can see this is one where we had the target up here and ultimately moved the target down and came up and hit the target. So as I said before, another thing you can do to automate your exits is set up these templates where you've got your stop loss and your profit target predefined before you ever get into the trade. So if you like getting out on targets, that's the best way to do it. Okay, here's the E-mini chart, sell signal here, $400 move down. All right, so any of these charts too, as I said, take a look at the signals that you get, and best thing to do is look at them during active market sessions. In the quiet sessions, then you're not going to see a lot of signals. All right, so some of the benefits of trading futures. You can trade from any location, your home, your office. If you've got multiple homes or if you travel a lot, you can still trade from any location. By the way, I've got my Hawaii shirt on today and getting ready to plan my Hawaii trip. So I decided to wear this shirt today. All right, so trade from any location. You can start out with a small amount of capital and build it. You can start out with as little as several $1,000s. The more capital you have, probably the better off you're going to be, because you won't be as nervous about your trading. But you certainly don't need a huge amount of capital, usually anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000 to trade in the E-mini. You do have the unlimited upside potential in trading. Okay, so there's really no upside limit. The E-mini is one of the most liquid contracts in the world. So even if you're trading a large number of contracts, you shouldn't really have a problem in getting fills on the E-mini. You do have the ability to trade in both directions. Now, the U.S. equities markets have moved up for 8 years, and currently they are acting like they're really questioning whether they want to go a lot higher here, but right now the market's kind of consolidating, hasn't really shown a huge move either up or down. All right, so I see a few questions in the room. We will get to those in just a few minutes. So trade in either direction. I run a real-time training room every day, and really in the training room, as I said before, it's very automated. We actually put our automated signals in the room, and you'll see the actual trades that are generated based on our automated signals. And the signals are really based on the charts I've just shown you here today. All right, so this screen here, you're seeing Chris. Chris has been in through our training program, and I've had our Ultimate Trader room now for over 6 years, and Chris is still in the room. So we have a lot of people that are in the room even after 6 years. So I know if we weren't doing a good job, Chris would still be there. And we have a lot of other people that are still in after a number of years. And we do get a lot of new people all the time in the room as well. Okay, here's Brian. Brian's been using our charts for a couple of years. All right, so special here today for everyone in attendance. As I said, I've got some very exciting things to share with you. One is typically the people that are in our training program will get 2 years of our charts and indicators in the Trade Finder. For everyone in attendance today, instead of 2 years, you're going to get 3 years of all the charts. The automator system, which is actually just the signals that are indicated on the screen, the magenta arrows for sells, green arrows for buys. You'll get 3 years license of our Trade Finder. Trade Finder looks at a number of technical indicators. If everything's pointing red, then you're going to get a sell signal. If everything is green, you're going to get a buy signal. You get 3 years of the Trendicator charts. This is a Dow chart, number of buy signals. We also do a one-on-one power session with everyone who joins us. That way I can actually connect up with your computer, make sure that all your charts and indicators are set up correctly, and answer any questions that you might have either on the tools that we provide or on the trading platform itself. You'll also get 4 months in our member workshops, as well as unlimited support. So 4 months. And we have a webinar special here today, $34.77. For everyone in attendance, you're going to get a $1,000 savings bonus, making it $24.77. I appreciate everyone joining us. And as I said, if you have any questions at all, please send an email to support@navitrader.com. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.